Hi, my name is Max from Snowboards, and in this tutorial I'm going to explain to you how you make your new VOY Splitboard ready for the first day on snow. First of all, when you purchase a new VOY Splitboard, there's a lot of things already included. You have the skins, those are pre-cut, you have the tip and tail hooks, and you also have the hooks to hold the two sides of the board together. If you want to take the VOY Splitboard up the mountain, then you are going to need a binding. There are several options that you can choose from. There are Splitboard specific bindings. In our case, we decided to mount a standard head binding on the VOY Splitboard. If you want to do this, then you're going to need an adapter kit. Also here, several options are available. I suggest that you visit your local head retailer and ask them for your options. In our case, we decided for the Splitboard hardware for standard bindings by VOY, and I'm going to guide you through the process how you mount this on your VOY Splitboard. So first of all, when you open this kit, then there's a great user manual inside, which guides you through the whole process. We're going to follow that process, and this is what you're going to see in the next minutes. So the only thing you need in addition to mount this kit is a standard screwdriver, posse number 3, and a measurement tape. All the inserts that you need for mounting the hardware are already built in the board, so that's easy. Now we just follow the steps. And as a step 1, we're going to mount the touring brackets. In general, it's very important that you use the right length of screws for the according parts. With this kit, it's actually very easy because everything is pre-packed so that you don't mix up the screw length. Also, if you're mounting the screws, make sure that you don't tighten them too hard because otherwise they will punch through the insert and maybe destroy the board. Alright, let's start with mounting the touring brackets. For this, I'm going to take all the according parts out of the bag, then I will place them over the appropriate inserts and just tighten the screws. In the next step, we're going to mount the climbing heels. Make sure that the wires face in the correct direction as outlined in the user manual. Again, all the necessary parts and screws are packed into one bag of the kit, so it's very easy to use and mount. Also make sure that you mount the shim in the correct way, as this will protect your top sheet. So for finally mounting the intake for the binding, you will need the discs and the hooks for the according stance width and the angle that you desire. Of course, there are different preferences and endless possibilities. In our example, we're going to mount a medium stance with a regular position. As a first step, it's important to know how the discs work. There's two types of discs in this package, the inline disc and a parallel disc. The parallel disc has 2 slots and the inline disc has 1 slot. The recommendation is to use the inline disc on your heel side and the parallel disc on the toe side. Also, there's an A and B marker on those discs. Be aware that when you rotate the disc, that you change the orientation, and this is maybe necessary to achieve your desired angle. For mounting the hooks in the correct place and desired angle, we're going to need the hook alignment guide, the hooks themselves, the discs, and the rubber gaskets. All of those need to be assembled together in the hook alignment guide. Before we start, we're going to mark the stance on the board. As mentioned, I have decided for a medium stance. Alright, so we have marked the stance and we have placed the hooks and the rubber gaskets in the hook alignment guide. It's important to start with the front foot first. Simply place the hook alignment guide over the marker, there's a stance location window, and then you can set the desired angle. After the step is done, you can place the discs and mount the hooks. We have now mounted the hooks on the front foot binding and we need to check if they are aligned in the correct way. For this we use the slider track. The slider track should slide on very easy and without applying a lot of force. If this is not the case, then you will have to redo the process. If everything runs smoothly, then you can continue with mounting the hooks on the rear foot binding. Last step, let's mount the binding to the slider track. I've chosen the Annex 1 as I prefer a binding without any dampening elements for splitboarding because otherwise I lose power transmission. For mounting the bindings on the slider track, we need the slider track itself, the T-nuts, those come with the kit, then we need the binding and the original screws, washers and discs from your binding. It's very important when mounting the binding on the slider track that it's flush and centered, because we've already set the angle on the hooks on the board. Another thing that's important when you mount the bindings is that the screws don't pinch through the slider track, because if you slide them on, then you don't want the screws to rub on the hooks. Congratulations! Once you've mounted the bindings on the slider tracks, you're good to go. Maybe give it a last check if everything works and runs smoothly, and lock them with the slider pin. So if you want to know about all of the functions of the board, how to change it from hike to ride mode, how to put on and take off the skins, then please check out the video in the description or on our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.